Hello, JUSTJEM here and welcome, or indeed welcome back to my channel. I have done my brows. I've got nothing on my face at all apart from my brows, and I've only just put some gel on. I had been using this e.l.f. one, which is now covered in dust, brow laminating gel. Oops, very sort of nondescript. I got this as a freebie and I did actually quite like it, but it does leave a bit of a white cast. It's nearly finished and it's e.l.f. so don't want that anymore. A while back I'd put in my stories on Instagram a question, what brow gel do you use, so I could try a different one. I've got two here, and I've got the Got To Be on this eye, and I've got the Maybelline Superlock brow glue on this eye. I did film it, but I didn't want to do it on camera because I wanted to be able to concentrate. Or maybe I'll just insert the footage of me putting it on, and you can let me know what you think. But I prefer, I think, the Maybelline. It's a thicker consistency, which means it doesn't sort of get everywhere. This is a bit more liquidy, and I found when I kind of put it on, it spread everywhere, and I kind of had to get my finger involved to even things out a little bit. Whereas with this, because it was a thicker texture, you could brush it in but brush it out really easily too. This Maybelline one, I mean, I'll try it out a bit more, but this might be my new go-to brow gel. And I don't know, maybe with this one, it might be one that improves as it dries out a little bit. What I'm going to do today is film a collab that I'm doing with, I was about to call it Glitter, it's Glitter Fairy Sarah now, because it was Glitter Fairy, hang on, what was it before? One moment please. I want to say Sarah's old handle was Glitter Raccoon, but it's now Glitter Fairy Sarah. We went back and forth a bit. It's my fault, basically, because I have no concept of time whatsoever. How are we in April already? Yeah, it's just madness. But I had suggested to kind of get me back into doing stuff. If I commit to a collab, it meant I would have to do a look. And then I kind of forgot about it, even though I was the one who said let's do a collab, and I was the one who put the idea forward of what we should do for the collab, and then promptly forgot about it. But then I remembered, so I'm filming it because one, it's good practice, and two, it could be very entertaining to watch me fail horrifically at this challenge. Well, it's not really a challenge. I mean, it's a makeup look, but it's using techniques I don't normally use. And then I'm just going to chat shite, basically, because it's been a long time, and why not? I should probably prime my lids. I have nothing in front of me. I'm going to go and get my makeup. I just have the eyeshadow palettes in front of me. I have nothing else. No brushes, no eyeshadow primer, nothing. So I'm going to go and get all of that, and then I'm going to come back and start filming. The collab is a Marvel one because I need no excuse to do a look inspired by Marvel characters, and I picked Spider-Man because when I did my March movie madness last year, which was just an excuse to do Marvel themed looks, I ran out of time to do Spider-Man. I'm going to prime my lids with the Nude 8 Colour Fix from Danessa Myricks, because that's a nice neutralising shade for my lids. I'm going to try and multitask and talk at the same time. Thank you for anyone who has continued to watch my videos even though I haven't been posting. Like, some people are still watching. I'm very, very grateful. I check in studio in the back end and I see numbers. I mean, they're not huge or anything, but people are still watching. So I'm very, very grateful for that. Definitely. And even more surprisingly than that, people are also still subscribing, which, considering I'm not putting out anything new at the moment, is also pretty cool. So if you're new here and you have subscribed based on what is very limited content, thank you, very much appreciated. Spider-Man. So for the blues in this look, I'm going to use the Frosted Flakes palette, and I think you can tell why I'm going to use that for the Spider-Man look. And then for the red, let's get this sleeve off, I'm going to dip into the Sinister palette from Cosmic Beauty / Cosmic Brushes. I think that has a nice selection of reds. And I don't really know, well, I've got a rough idea how I'm going to do this. Do I want to start with reds? Let's start with reds. Danger from Sinister. Thank you very much for your patience and for still watching and for subscribing even though I've not been posting. It's very much appreciated. For anyone who doesn't know why I haven't been posting, I've been pretty sporadic really, I'd say since June, July of last year. My mum had cancer a few years back twice, and she was re-diagnosed in, I want to say it was June last year, and she has now passed away. She passed away at the beginning of this year, the 2nd of January. I've posted a couple of videos, nothing major, just here and there where I had the time and I had the inclination, the desire to film at points when I perhaps felt I could do with the distraction. And then, as you can imagine, there's just been a lot going on. The funeral was at the end of January, and then we had a memorial. My mum always said that if she passed here that she wanted to be cremated, and then we had a memorial and I took her ashes back to where we're originally from, which is Sierra Leone in West Africa. Fun fact, Idris Elba is half Sierra Leonean. So I did that, and I got back a couple of weeks ago, and I felt a bit, like, I don't know how to explain it. I was even going to say since the start of this year, but it's earlier than that. It's since last year, since Mum was diagnosed and I was going back and forth between home and London. And then I was planning an event for work, so my day job, I work in events, so I was planning a big conference in December, so that happened. And I've just been yo-yoing between home and London, and then throwing in, I was in Thailand and India in December, and then came back, and yeah, it's just been a lot, and I haven't stopped, and this is the first time I've stopped, and it's weird. I think because I've just had so much going on, and I haven't stopped, and I haven't had time to sort of really think. There's always been something to do, there's always been something to kind of keep me going, and I did wonder if this would happen, where now that I'm home and there's not something else for me to do, the weight, I think the weight of everything that has happened is being fully felt right now. I think that's kind of why I'm super emotional. I binged watch that Pride and Prejudice spin-off, The Other Bennet Sister, yesterday and the day before. Wept at that. It's been a roller coaster, one from June to December, and then two from January to now. And then things have settled and I'm trying to get back to, I don't know, some semblance of normality, for getting back into work. I mean, work has been good, to be fair. I've had a lot of time off between bereavement leave that I've officially been allowed to take, and then luckily I've had toil and things like that. So I've had a lot of time off since the beginning of the year. I felt like a part-timer. So that's going to change, because I'm going to be back to work full speed. Considering I'm not concentrating that much, that's not bad. I'd wanted to do a cut crease, and I wanted to use my Be Perfect Priming Primer for that, but I think I might have thrown it away because it is actually really old, so I think I got rid of it. So I'm going to use a concealer, or do I want to use this high definition eyeshadow base from NYX, which, I mean, technically that's old too, but I think that might work best. Yeah, let's try this. So yeah, I've been on a bit of a roller coaster for the past, well, almost 12 months, 10 months I think it's been. I want to get back into filming, I want to get back into a routine. I want to try and do that as soon as possible, because I'm acutely aware of the fact that I live alone. You know, I'm single, I don't have any kids, I don't have anything like that to kind of distract me, keep me going. So I want to kind of throw myself back into YouTube. Well, not just YouTube, just, I mean, life in general, because life just, it got put on hold, really. I want to get back to doing stuff that's kind of going to keep me occupied, keep me busy. I mean, one could say I could throw myself into work, but I'm quite apathetic towards work at the moment. I'm hoping that's going to change, because normally I quite like my job, but I'm going to assume that's a bit of a symptom of just how I'm feeling at the moment. I need to get back into filming and used to doing that, so this is a bit of a baptism of fire. I've jumped right in there with attempting to do a somewhat complicated look. You know, I'm doing supposedly a cut crease, which is a bit messy. I'm not using the right products for this, but I think it'll still work. I just want to thank everyone who's sort of reached out, who's checked in to see how I'm doing, who's been patient, who's still been watching and commenting, and I guess waiting for me to come back. I mean, if you haven't been waiting, you might just hit subscribe, forgotten, and you've moved on with your life, you know. But if you have stayed, because you could very easily have hit the unsubscribed button while I wasn't here, so I'm grateful that people have stayed. I raced to 500 subscribers, and then it just came to a standstill, but I noticed the other day, like, I'm one away from 600, which, considering I've not been posting, is not bad at all. Not bad at all. Right, let's see how some blue lays on top of this. I've got like a rough idea where I'm going with this. I am winging it somewhat. Actually, that's quite a vibrant blue. Maybe I'll go with Go Getter, because it's not that vibrant a blue in Spidey's suit. But then I kind of want a Blue Nose, because I want a shimmer, don't I? Maybe I'll mix Blue Nose and Breakfast Time, because Blue Nose, is that the right shade of blue though? I'm going with Breakfast Time. I'm going to go with that blue, and I might possibly put a bit of that in and use that in the outer V, something like that. See how that goes. I feel, actually that works quite well. I feel like I had lots of ideas at one point for content. Did I write any of that shit down? Of course I fucking didn't, because why would I do something sensible like that? And then I feel I experienced what I like to call, is it productive procrastination? I don't know if that's a real term. I feel like that's just something that I have coined myself to describe when you have a list of things to do, and don't get me wrong, it all needs doing, but you find yourself jumping around that list and ignoring the top priorities, or at least what you have deemed to be a top priority according to yourself, and you go straight to the stuff that's at the bottom. So one of the things I had to do before I started filming was tidy the room that I'm in, because it looked like a tsunami and a hurricane and all the rest of it had been through this room, and I couldn't really film in here with it looking like that. So that was top priority. But then I took it upon myself to start tidying a bunch of other stuff that really didn't need to be tidied at all. And after I'd done that, I think I just exhausted myself, got a bit emotional, and thought, well, I can't film now. As I'm filming this, it's Easter Monday, and I've effectively wasted the entire long weekend that I could have spent making lots and lots of content, doing other stuff. But then I guess I can't feel bad, because that other stuff was all stuff that did need to be done. And even yesterday I got to a point, I thought, let me ease myself in, I'll maybe do some swatches, and then I went down a rabbit hole. I've got a new phone and I'm trying to work out the camera settings on this new phone, and I'm really struggling with that. I mean, it's a Samsung, it's an S26 Plus, and everyone raves about the cameras on these like high spec phones. I'm glad I didn't pay full price. The one reason I went for it is because I got an offer where I could get it half price. I'm still faffing around with the camera settings to get them to a point where I like the results, but at the moment I prefer the shots and the footage that I get from my mid-range previous phone, which is a little bit annoying. Bluer than I was anticipating. I don't know if I should have gone deeper than that. Another reason I'm doing my eyes first is because I do want to get some liner involved, you know, for the webbing, and on the off chance that it goes tits up, I can just wash my face and start again. So it's definitely an eyes first look. Now I'm at a stage where I'm thinking about content that I want to do, and I'm guessing it's to do with my current mental state, but I don't feel like buying anything, which is very unusual for me. I think I bought Vesuvio in January, that might have been February now, I'm not sure, and I think I bought like a Cosmic Beauty / Cosmic Brushes Death palette. I bought that, and I'm trying to think if I bought any other palettes this year. I don't think so. I didn't buy anything in March, so to be 3 months in and to have only purchased 2, possibly 3 palettes, it's unusual for me. But nothing is really jumping out at me. Like, I will do a new makeup. I don't know when, because I don't know if I'll film that today or a bit later in the week for it to go up later, I don't know. I feel like a lot of new releases are passing me by at the moment. Like, I used to be really into new releases and I'd follow them because I'd talk about them, I'd do the videos, but nothing's really getting my attention at the moment. Not really. I'm going to put some makeup on the rest of my face now, I think. And then I think I'll document what I have so far before I mess it up with the liner. So I'll be back once I've almost finished my face. I'm back and I've almost done my entire face, which is what I said I would do. But now that I have done that, I wonder if that was a wise move. But we're here now. I have Ruby Woo on my lips because I thought red would work. I don't know if I wish I had a deeper red. I probably do somewhere because I have that much lipstick, but I can't think now where that deeper red could be. So Ruby Woo is going to have to do. It's a blue tone red, so I think it works. And I'm about to put on some blush, and this is Back and Butter Deep Rosewood. And I think I might have gone in a bit heavy-handed there because yeah, that's alright. Yeah, that's alright, she says, wondering if it is indeed alright. I sometimes forget myself with these NYX Buttermelt blushes because you really only need a little bit. So I think what I am going to do is I will do some liner, but some very basic liner, and then I'll take some pictures, and then I can be like, woohoo, look, there's my Spider-Man look. And then I will go in with the liner again and see how I get on. But if I do balls it up, at least I've documented what I've got so far. Didn't do an inner corner like I meant to do with milk, so let's do that now. Okay. I like how this looks. Just a simple, well, I don't know about simple. I don't know if I'd even call it an everyday look. There's a hint of Spider-Man. A hint. I'm going to go and take some pictures, and I'm even going to do my thumbnail now as well because I just don't trust myself. I really don't. And then I'll be back for what I think is going to be the fun bit, or at least fun for you. Well, I balls it all up because let's face it, that's probably what's going to happen. But yeah, document, come back, finish. I bought these brushes. These are, I think technically you're meant to use them for things like figures and, you know, if you're into, what's that stuff that Henry Cavill does, like Warhammer and stuff, and you paint those little figurines. I bought that set because it actually worked out cheaper to buy these than official wet liner brushes. And I've got the black liner here and I've mixed it up. I don't know about the consistency, and I'm probably going to hold my breath for a lot of this. So I imagine I'm not going to be talking very much. So I'm getting all my talking in now. I'm thinking I have an idea in mind, and I'm covering half my face here. Okay, that's the first bit done. Now for some webbing, methinks. Well, some more webbing. If I carry that a bit further out. I don't know how much I want to do. Probably the less I do, the better. I'm having to finish on my phone because my camera, the memory card has stopped writing. The eyeliner bit is not recorded. because my camera is just not having any of it. But this is how it turned out. I think it's safe to say I need some practice. Those I did too close together. So I think I got the spacing right here, but it's not as neat because it was awkward to do it on that side. But all in all, not a horrendous attempt, and I think you get the gist. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to sign off on here too, because as I say, memory card not working. As always, thank you for taking the time to watch. I hope to be back soon properly. Maybe I'm back properly now. I don't know. Let's see how I go. I'm not going to put any pressure on myself. I'm just going to film as and when. But I'm hoping to be back. And thank you for your patience. And hopefully I'll see you again in a video in a not too distant future. Take care. Bye.